Today we're going behind the bunny and making a Splicer from Bioshock Splicer Bunny cosplay. Originally I did a Splicer Bunny shoot for the Cosplay Deviants calendar. If you've got the 2023 Cosplay Deviants calendar, you'll notice October is me and Celine, and we are Splicer Bunnies. So I made these bunny masks, 3D printed, finished, painted, added straps. You can find the files on Thingiverse. I will post who has them on Thingiverse. This is a simple prop from Spirit Halloween, and I just repainted it and sealed it so it looks a little better than their paint job. However, I never did a full cosplay because, like I said, it was for the calendar shoot, so that was more boudoir pinup. But today we're making a full cosplay, which includes a dress. Since we're going to slice it and cut it up, make it dirty, you are more than welcome to make your own vintage dress. 40s, 50s is kind of the style of the original Bioshocks. I don't want to spend the time or effort. We are getting a vintage looking dress off of Amazon. This one was $34 and it saves us a ton of time. I'll post the link for the dress as well. So for this shoot, I want to do flashbacks to non-Splicer world. So we are going to film pretty regular vintage woman, and then we're going to distress it and film bloody, dirty, crazy, scary Splicer Bunny vintage woman. I will be posting a clip of the video at the end of this video to show you what I mean about the flashing back vintage to Splicer. First step before we do anything to the dress, just do a quick fit. Make sure it fits, because once we wash it and distress it, there's no returning, no turning back. Get all your reference photos from Bioshock. Go ahead and play a little if you want. And let's get to distressing. This dress came with a tie closure, and I really wanted something a little bit more vintage feeling, so I'm going to cut off the tie and sew on a little pearl button. Pulled a couple of buttons from my stash, yay cosplay hoarding, and after some consideration I went with the simpler one just because I'll be wearing a pearl necklace as well. First snip and the point of no return. Fold over the end and sew a button on. Ta-da! Now it's time to cut it up. I knew from looking at reference photos I wanted one sleeve completely gone and then the other one just distressed. The asymmetrical qualities of the Splicer lean to their chaotic craziness. We're going to be mirroring that asymmetry on the hem of the dress as well. You'll notice I scrunch up the fabric and then cut. It adds a little bit of randomness to the edges and makes it look a little bit more worn and less deliberate. And then it's just putting in holes where you think they might fit. Giggity. Once you're happy with the physical distressing of the dress, it's time to start painting. I'm going to be using an airbrush for the first step. You can do this with a big fluffy brush and diluted paint, but I've got the airbrush and it works really well for this. I don't, however, have any raw umber in an airbrush paint, so I am using a mixture of black and sepia diluted with distilled water and shaken really well. Do not forget to shake, 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 shake your airbrush paint. Then we test it on a piece of paper towel before we hit the dress. Start with a very light hand. You can always add more layers to make it darker. Focus on the edges, anywhere you cut around the hem, on the holes that you cut, and anywhere you think there might be dirt or staining. And here's the dress with our airbrush layer. Next we're going to take watered down raw umber and just a bit of black on a stiff brush. Go over all of the edges and any random spots we might want to put some more dirt and grime, including on the underside of the fabric by the hems in case it shows while you're wearing it. And unfortunately I did not film this, but I did take a couple of progress photos. You're going to do basically the same process as the raw umber with a dark red, which was a mixture of cadmium red deep. I also did some splatters, put some parchment paper down or newspaper, and that's pretty much it. I also did the same process on a pair of gloves. So without further ado, here's a little video snippet, and let me know if you have any questions.